Jim, you were chairing the conference yesterday. What do you think some of the key themes for the industry are this year?
Well, what I really took away from the program this year is how seriously Europe is taking lithium-ion battery production. Really, about 75% of lithium-ion batteries today are made in Asia, a trend which has been growing for quite some time. And I think the possible hazards of that, both economically and geopolitically, are really starting to occur to much of the rest of the developed world, particularly Europe, to some extent, and I'm sorry to say to somewhat lesser extent today in North America. But I think there's becoming a growing awareness in Europe of the importance of lithium-ion battery technology, not just to electric vehicles, but to consumer applications, medical applications, defense applications of all kinds. Battery technology really is going to be one of the key technologies of the 21st century. And the sense I'm getting at the show this year is that European policymakers and the European public, and certainly European industry, are suddenly coming to the conclusion that this is a problem they have to take seriously. And I'm just delighted to see that, because I expect to see great things in coming years in Europe.
Okay, great. You're the executive director and founder of the North American Trade Association for the Battery Industry. What are the key different and common challenges for this market compared to the European market?
Well, they're very similar in many ways. I think we sort of had maybe a 10-year head start on Europe in lithium-ion technology. Much of it originated, of course, in the United States. And there was a great attempt under our last administration, President Obama, to really jumpstart vehicle electrification in North America. We made a good effort at that over the last 10 years, but we're probably a little in advance of the technology. We're sort of getting into what I think of a second generation vehicle electrification now, second generation of the modern electric vehicle. And I think this is going to be a different cycle. And this cycle, I think Europe may actually be in a leadership position on. We both face a common challenge in North America and in Europe in getting some traction in lithium-ion battery manufacturing and maintaining the leadership I believe we maintain in lithium-ion battery technology. But moving that forward, getting appropriate levels of public support, getting appropriate levels of public engagement is going to continue to be a common problem both in Europe and North America. And again, we'll see how that bears out in the second cycle of the modern electric vehicle.
Okay. Apart from that, what industry news has stood out to you most, do you think, in the last year?
Well, again, consistent with the overall theme, I've been impressed by the growing interest of European automotive OEMs in battery technology. I don't think they're looking at it as just somebody else's problem to supply them with workable cells and workable packs. They're coming to the understanding, and I believe the honest conviction, that battery technology is absolutely core to their business. I don't think we've seen the end of that story yet. I think we're only seeing the beginnings. I got some wind of that last year at the show in Hanover, but the theme is becoming even more prominent now. And I do expect that in coming years, we're going to see greater involvement by the major European OEMs in battery technology, and perhaps even they're taking a leadership in seeing that technology and the manufacturing capacities for it evolve further in Europe.